America's military history has often been measured not only by the battles fought on distant fields, but by the precision of its decisive actions. Few events in the annals of modern conflict capture that precision better than the extraordinary operation carried out on the night of January 3, 2026, which resulted in the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores. In an unprecedented strike spanning the skies over Caracas and the streets below, the United States demonstrated capabilities that only a few years ago would have sounded impossible to many observers. When news first broke that American forces had entered Venezuelan territory in a surprise military operation, the world paused. Old doctrines and assumptions seemed to shift, and Americans everywhere witnessed a chapter of history being written in real time, a chapter that would be remembered long after the headlines faded. This operation, later named Operation Absolute Resolve by military planners, stands as a testament to months, even years of preparation by America's finest strategists, intelligence professionals, airmen, and special operators. At roughly 2:01 a.m. local time, jets and helicopters from multiple branches of the U.S. Armed Forces launched from more than 20 bases across the continent, converging on the Venezuelan capital with a level of coordination rarely seen in the modern era. In the skies above, over 150 aircraft, including advanced F-35 Lightning II and F-22 Raptor stealth fighters, B-1 bombers projecting overwhelming air supremacy, and specialized EA-18G Growler electronic warfare jets disrupting enemy radar and communications, ensured total control of the airspace. Drones and surveillance aircraft fed real-time data back to command centers, guiding every heartbeat of the mission with precision that blurred the line between planning and perfection. On the ground, elite units of the United States Army's Delta Force and other special operations elements moved swiftly and with discipline born of decades of training. These men and women had prepared for months, studying movements, routines, and the habits of their targets down to the smallest detail. They understood their objective with absolute clarity, knowing that the success of the mission rested on speed, surprise, and an iron commitment to minimize unnecessary harm. Intelligence units had scanned every approach, every threat, and every possible contingency, ensuring that when the moment arrived, there would be no hesitation and little risk of miscalculation. If you value the real history of American military capabilities and the professionalism of its forces, take a moment to subscribe to Frontline Stories USA now, because stories like this define the cutting edge of strategic action, and too often they are lost to politics rather than preserved as lessons in resolve and capability. At that moment, as aircraft rumbled over the Venezuelan capital and the first strikes on critical defensive infrastructure began, the operation entered the books not as a mere sortie, but as a sweeping demonstration of logistical mastery and tactical superiority. By suppressing air defenses and neutralizing potential threats without unnecessary escalation, U.S. forces established a secure path for their ground teams to approach their target with maximum advantage and minimal resistance. Yet the story was not just one of machines or technology, it was a story of human resolve. Soldiers braced themselves as the first rays of dawn had yet to break. They moved with precision and absolute discipline, embodying a culture of training that does not allow for error. Behind them, commanders monitored every heartbeat of the mission, ready to adjust strategies on the fly if needed. And when the moment came for the capture itself, the forces converged on the compound where Nicolás Maduro and Celia Flores were located, carefully ensuring that their objective was secured with overwhelming force but limited collateral damage. When the dust settled, both had been taken into custody without the kind of large-scale engagement that many analysts had feared would accompany such a mission. At its core, the operation fulfilled its primary objective, the seizure of two individuals whose actions, according to official U.S. statements, had long posed a threat through alleged involvement in narco-terrorism and international drug trafficking, charges they would later face in federal court in New York. For the United States government, this represented not simply a victory of arms, but a triumph of law and order projected beyond its borders. Maduro and Flores were swiftly transported by helicopter to the U.S. naval vessel USS Iwo Jima before being flown to face a federal indictment, a moment that underscored the reach of American justice and the nation's resolve to hold even the most powerful figures to account. In the hours and days that followed, the impact of this operation reverberated across international capitals and among military analysts around the world. Some hailed the precision and seamless execution as a testament to American air power and strategic planning. Others raised questions about the sovereignty of nations and the legal boundaries of unilateral action in foreign territory. Yet, even amidst debate, one thing remained clear: the courage and capability of the American forces involved etched a historical precedent. As you continue listening, and if you find value in uncovering how modern military strategy unfolds at its highest levels, please like this video and leave a comment. Your engagement supports the preservation of these pivotal moments in history for audiences who understand their significance. Even as diplomats weighed in and legal scholars debated the ramifications, the backbone of the mission, the integration of elite troops with overwhelming air support and intelligence, stood as a clear demonstration of what the U.S. military could accomplish when unity of effort met tactical innovation. Special operators, whose training encompasses a wide spectrum of skills from close-quarters battle to precision restraint, executed their role with unmatched professionalism. Intelligence units, both human and technological, provided a real-time view of the battlefield that allowed commanders to react and adapt faster than ever before, rendering traditional defense systems obsolete in the face of such coordinated might. This moment, captured in the pre-drawn hours of January 3rd, will be studied by military academies, historians, and strategists for decades. It represents not only the capture of a head of state, but the apex of modern operational planning in an age where information dominance and rapid mobility define success. Every aspect of the mission, from reconnaissance drones mapping the terrain to stealth aircraft ensuring air superiority, spoke to an evolution in how conflicts are approached in the 21st century. It was a demonstration of force that made clear that the United States could project power with precision, speed, and a single unified purpose. But it is also a reminder that military capability is rooted in the people who carry it out. The pilots who flew long missions through the night, the operators who moved silently under darkness, the analysts who deciphered patterns, all played their part in a narrative larger than any one individual. The cohesion of these elements reflects a national commitment to readiness and strength, qualities that have defined American military history from its earliest days. And while the political debates and legal arguments may continue in courtrooms and assemblies, the operation itself remains a defining moment of American strategic action. If you appreciate understanding the depth behind such decisive missions, remember to subscribe to Frontline Stories USA. Share this video with others who value the untold details of modern history and how elite forces operate at the cutting edge of military science. Comment below your thoughts on what this operation means for the future of geopolitical strategy. Your insights help fuel deeper conversation and preserve these stories for generations to come. In the final analysis, what occurred on that night will not be relegated to footnotes. It will be referenced as an example of how meticulous preparation, overwhelming air power, elite ground units, and the will to act decisively can converge to shape the trajectory of nations. And for those who participated, their professionalism in the face of intense complexity stands as a testament to the training, courage, and resolve that define the United States Armed Forces. This is not merely a chapter in history, but a vivid exemplar of the principles that have guided American military engagement on the world stage, a narrative of strength, precision, and unyielding determination that should be remembered, studied, and respected.